What's good, everybody, man? It's your boy Tony D2 Wild checking in once again, back with another one back to back. Told y'all I was coming in with some getting caught up in things, man, and I really wanted to give my initial thoughts on this whole Young Thug situation, Young Thug, Gunna, YSL indictment. I have not looked into it, and I'm going to look into it more and more. I've seen paperwork flying here and there, but I have not yet to dive deep in because I want to give my initial thoughts in general and the background of things in Atlanta in general before we start diving in and looking at stuff and picking things apart on this whole entire matter and topic. I'm 30 years old. So me growing up in high school, mainly high school, 06 to 09, but even from like 06 to 2012, right? I was out in the streets and I wasn't selling drugs. I wasn't shooting at people and all that, but I was out, partying in the club, in the hoods, chilling, kicking back, just enjoying life. I didn't have bad experiences, but I did enjoy my time, kicking with the homies and doing things, going out, chilling with chicks, going to clubs, going to the hood, doing things like that. Like that was his typical nature. During that time in high school too, especially, and a little bit after in college and whatnot, there was cliques and things. I mean, if you're from Atlanta, you know about Black Mob days, the fam days, and this is mainly stuff going on the east side. I stayed on the east side. I never went to the west side. The west side, like the east side already had its hoods and had its things going on, right? When you go to the west side, nigga, it's a whole different world. And it's even tougher out there. Like the east side was like clean in a way, but it was hood. But the west side is straight dry, and you can get your shit split up out there. The south side, very similar in ways. I've been over on Cleveland Ave. I've done videos and shoots over there. When I was shooting videos for a lot of these artists too, I was doing a lot of stuff in Cleveland, Glenwood, some things on the west side here and there. The furthest we went to the west side, though, growing up as a kid, was the flea market on Metropolitan Parkway. And I've done a couple of photo shoots over there too. That's the furthest to the west side that we would go. I believe it's Pittsburgh community as well. And, Mechanicsville, things like that as well. That's the furthest I would ever push it. Just because once you get over there, boy, it's a whole nother world. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be on your P's and Q's even more. But with that being said, like back then, like gangs and stuff, cliques was more so what it was. It wasn't until later on, and just dealing with YouTube in general, man. YouTube really got me focused in on what I was doing here in the online world and traveling the world and whatnot. And it wasn't, I'm even gonna lie to you, till recently that I really stopped what I was doing and started paying attention to the things that are going around in the city. And I've seen how much things have changed just in a decade, from the gangs that have came from Sex Money Murder, YSL, the cliques, this clique, that clique, and cliques that have once were, gangs that once were cliques in high school evolved into bigger things. Like a lot of things from Black Mob days or things from Southside Mafia or Marlboro Road. Like there's tons of things that I remember back as a kid that are still now here, but they kind of like were engulfed by other gangs or other things out there and became something even bigger. You feel me? Like the Playboy Cardi, and he's in some things, and it's just so much infiltration of gangs that have came into the city these past couple of years that I ain't gonna cap, like I didn't know much about, and I don't even like to talk about it. Cause look, I'm not a street nigga. I'm not in the streets. I'm put up. You know what I'm saying? I did my little thing here and there, having a little bit of fun, but I was never like in no gang or nothing like that. I was in like a little clique and whatnot, but that's just a clique of my own homies. Like I wasn't no gang banging shit, shooting and all that. But the demographics of Georgia in general and of Atlanta specifically have changed so much over the years with the infiltration of gangs. And I think a lot of it has to do with this Atlanta itself being a nightlife city, but then also being a city that was very affordable, that people left from New York, left from LA, left from Texas, left from Chicago, and have came here and brought those type of things into the city. And we already had our own little thing, but then Atlanta is a city of hospitality, and Atlanta, if you know it, is a city in Georgia itself, a state of refuge almost. Like it you go ask somebody where they from, it's a big chance that they're not from Atlanta. You got people from Katrina that came from New Orleans back then, like tons of people that came from Texas, like I said, Chicago, LA, New York, all that, you feel me? And it wouldn't be surprising if you meet somebody who's not from LA, from Atlanta. You know, and even me, I was born in LA, but I've been here since I was 1 year old. But that's just how it is. Like it's a state of refuge. And I don't mean like in a bad way. I'm just saying like Atlanta is a state of pretty much, it's Atlanta. My bad, I keep saying Atlanta state. But Georgia, especially specifically the city of Atlanta, is a city of people that are not from it. Even Gucci Mane. Gucci Mane is from Alabama. You know, Jeezy's from Macon, Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's from Georgia, but it's just so much. Even Ludacris, you know, it's always been like that. It's been like that. It's even more like that now. So what that has to say though is that over the years, you know, with Thugger and YSL and it growing and now into a RICO, and I've always wondered, like, the RICO stuff wasn't ever big over here in Georgia. It's more so you would see it happening, you know, in New York and other places. But now it seems like they cracking down on that shit. And Thugger is now hit with a RICO. Gunna as well. I think Gunna might be, I mean, he might do time, but it's more so his like affiliation, you know, and not to knock him, not to say he's gonna snitch or nothing, but he's more so like on a 6ix9ine thing. Like he was a rapper under that umbrella, but Thugger is like one of the founders. So there's things going on. I hear that YF and Lucci and him trying to get killed in jail, and you know, of course, Thug's baby mama. It's a lot of crazy stuff going on in Atlanta right now. It's just wild, bro. Atlanta's wild, bro. It's changed so much in a decade, like, and it took it, and I haven't really just paid attention to it because I stay to myself at the end of the day. But when I look around and start paying attention and seeing things more and more, like we think Chirac, I look at Chirac and the stories, and it's like that shit going on actively. Like in Chicago, man, rest in peace to all the fallen people. A lot of people have died and went to jail, and it seems like right now in Atlanta and like places like Jacksonville and Duval and all that stuff is now like transition. That drill stuff is just transitioned over here more and more. It's always been here, but it's like at an all-time peak, man. So they saying there's more and more rappers and stuff going to happen. So we'll just have to wait and see as more develops. But it's crazy out here, man. Thugger, I believe right now it's GBI, but GBI is basically Georgia's version of the FBI. And when it comes to indictments and then RICOs and stuff, you're not just getting out of that very easily. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. I just don't know what, you know, it's looking, it's not going to be something that's a simple, oh, Thug's getting out. Like, things are going to happen. We'll just have to wait and see, man. Have to wait and see. Let me know you guys' thoughts and opinions down below. I'll dive more into it, and we'll talk more about it later this week as more information starts piling in, because it's already flowing out as the day. I need to get caught up, but this is wild.